What's up, guys? Welcome back to Let's Play Basara 3! Alright, we defeated that meaningless filler arc, and now we're gonna see who wins this time. Look at Otomo Sora in there with the rainbow-colored icon. Shimatsu defeated him. Oh, and Tsuruhime is joining us without us even having to fight her. That's pretty cool. That's a pretty common storyline battle against Tsuruhime there, but it looks like we just got it through sheer attrition altogether. So she's referred to as the Oracle, and we'll talk about her later on, especially when we get to her actual stage, which we'll do a couple times before the end of this game. But, yeah, she is, we're not going to talk about her too much right now because we're not fighting her, but...
Hell hath no fury, as they say.
I see. I guess that is to be expected from Yoshitsugu.
She's another one of those vital characters like Magoichi Saika that they're trying to fight for her alliance. But she can pick pretty much either side.
But someday it will grow to a multitude.
Okay. So again, I was kind of surprised there that Shimatsu defeated Otomo Soren. Now, Otomo Soren is actually the new leader of the Zavyists. Zavi himself is kind of out of commission, like he doesn't seem to be around in this game. He's there, he just doesn't really say anything. Yeah, screw that. I'm not fighting the Zavyists. I've had enough of them in the previous games, and Otomo Soren makes them that much more annoying. But I actually really like Shimatsu's stage in this game. I would like to show that off, as much as I didn't care for it in Basara 1. That definitely the west side of Japan was the side I did care for the least. I'm gonna slightly adjust Ieyasu's setup going into this. I don't really have any new allies to equip to him yet, but we'll be getting one very soon. So I'm not gonna be fighting the zombie guy. I'll save that for another campaign. I am gonna go up against Ieyasu Kenshin. Almost mispronounced his name there. He is a storyline battle. There'll be some special cutscenes with Kenshin's map in this one. Kenshin's map in Basara 3 is fantastic. It really does establish the character a little bit better. But again, I would have loved to have gone to Shimatsu's stage, but maybe there'll be time for that later. Alright, we're up on Mount Kawanakajima, and there's actually 3 boss characters we can fight here. We're going to skip these guys a little bit. I'm not going to go into what those characters are until we see them. But, yeah, the only thing about Shimatsu's stage I don't like in this game is he's got that annoying sidekick character that we see in Season 2 of the anime, who... I hate that kid. Well, maybe we'll see him later on in the game. Okay. So now we almost have all of Ieyasu's secondary abilities unlocked. I'm going to quickly just check his arts and see what I have unlocked here. Okay, so we've got some good stuff. I should be able to show that off. Alright, so let's go over here. Hey, look, it's Keiji. What is he doing here?
Even the coldest blanket of snow cannot smother the growth of a flower. A flower of love. A flower of peace. Soon, I will watch the flowers bloom. I will watch as the snow is melted and the cold vanished.
Okay, G. Speaking of which, what are you doing here? What are you doing at Kawanakajima? Either way, we're going to have a little tussle with him. Now, Keiji, if you haven't watched the Basara 2 Let's Play, I'll go ahead and cover his character. So Keiji, to me, is always like sort of the Vash the Stampede character for Basara, because he's all about love and peace, and wouldn't you rather die in the arms of someone you love than on a battlefield? But at the same time, so he doesn't like fighting, but he's also obscenely strong. So he actually really, he doesn't win very many important fights, but he's incredibly strong, and he's one of the most fluent and fun characters to play as, and he's a fan favorite character. So most people love to play as Keiji in Basara 3. We'll be unlocking him pretty soon, but I will not be playing as him here in Basara 3. What people don't realize, at least the American audience that never got to play the original 3 games, is that Keiji had the entirety of Basara 2 in the spotlight, so playing as him in this game, this was not as an appealing option to me when I have other characters to go back to. So if you guys want to see some Keiji gameplay, go back to the Basara 2 Let's Play. He was done at the very beginning. But Keiji's gameplay with how fluent and like how great the movement is and everything, and even in Basara 2 back then, is really what put Basara 2 on the map. Like, it was really ahead of its time, especially when you compare it to like the Dynasty Warriors and Samurai Warriors contemporaries of the time. Man, I can't wait to do those Basara retrospective videos, because Basara blows away its competition like straight out of the water many different times over the years, and I really want to showcase that and say why this is such a personally beloved series. If you're not a fan of Musa, or even if you are. Alright, so we defeated Keiji actually really easily using those charged punches like an expert boxer, and now we're gonna fight this guy.
Did you see that? Wasn't I great?
Alright, so let's beat up the invincible Kanetsugu. that certainly took a long time. We just like air juggled his ass and then called it a day. So yeah, he's actually a running joke throughout Basara. He's in both the anime and he's in the game, but he is basically a joke character where he's like, I am the invincible Kanetsugu, Yoesuge's first unit! And he's like, I am unstoppable, and he runs into battle and then dies immediately with one hit. It's pretty funny. It's one of those running jokes that the Basara anime does that it's usually pretty effective. Kenshin, you sly dog.
I am at your service, Lord Kenshin.
Lured us into a trap. So, we were coming up to the peak expecting to find him, when in fact we found a decoy, and now he has released all of his troops, so he has us completely surrounded. We only have one camp, well, make that two now, and we're surrounded by enemy forces, so now we have to fight two other boss characters before we can even get to Kenshin. So we have to fight Keiji again, and we have to fight Kasuga, of course, which is fine, as per usual. So, Ieyasu Kenshin, if you follow the series, is always up to devious tricks like that, because he's considered a tactical genius, referred to as the war god of Ichigo, because he's so proficient. So I've unlocked a new move, as you can see here I'm demonstrating there, which is basically allows me to air juggle enemies, and it's fantastic. So if I hold L1 and hit square, I can start those combos to get it, and I can just keep doing it over and over and over again with square until the combo ends, and it's a great way to air juggle enemies and beat up on the camp commanders as well, which is very important. So when Kenshin revealed himself there, he cast some ice over the river like so, which allowed his forces to climb down off the mountain and invade the map, and also allowed Kasuga here and Keiji to infiltrate.
It began again. New misfortunes arose to plague his life. Run away! I will not let you tread upon this snow. This is Lord Kenshin's land!
Kasuga, looking very sexy there in HD. I've never really been the biggest fan of her character, but they really did a good job with her here. So she is Ieyasu Kenshin's personal ninja bodyguard, and she is madly infatuated with him, which results in a lot of spontaneous orgasming in the anime, which is another one of the anime's running jokes that you would think would get old, but by season 2, those jokes just get funnier and funnier, to the anime's credit. So, like I said before, the enemy boss's strength is equally proportionate to how difficult those contesting button mashing QTE things will be. So if you notice with Keiji, it was really difficult because Keiji is very strong. Kasuga, not so much. We're able to overcome her pretty easily. Now this is a pretty nasty attack. It's her Basara attack here, which is pretty nasty, where she just sort of teleports around and hits us from a million different angles. So very ninja-like, but we can avoid that pretty easily. At this point, Ieyasu has just gotten so strong, so not a lot of these minor boss characters are going to pose much of a threat to us. Man, look at him go! Oh, he's so ridiculously powerful.
It's more important I live.
Hence
so
why
that
he
we
unified the
continue to serve
nation,
Lord
but we won't
Kenshin.
go there right now. So yeah, that's pretty much it for Kasuga. Every time I say Kasuga now, I have to put a little more emphasis on the Suga part of her pronunciation, so it doesn't sound like I'm saying Casca, as in Berserk Casca, which I'm going to have to be referring to very soon, because the Berserk and the Band of the Hawk Let's Play is well underway. It's undergoing its final test run right now, and hopefully will be up after I'm done with this game, so not anytime soon really, but probably before the end of the year. And speaking of new Let's Plays, for those of you that haven't been keeping track and you want to watch a different Musou game between uploads of this game, the Dragon Quest Heroes Let's Play is now finally happening. So I've been talking about that Let's Play for about a year now, and it's finally up. First video is up right now, and the second video will be up probably later today or tomorrow. And I'm having an absolute blast replaying that game for the recording. And I'm going much faster through the game than I did in my test runs, so I'm very, very, very happy with how that's going so far. I was really dreading some of that LP, but now I'm really thoroughly enjoying it. So I want to save one of my gauges for Kenshin, because, again, after everything is all said and done with these guys, we still have to go fight Kenshin. So my health is pretty low, though, so I'm going to use my Basara attack on Keiji and then retreat to get these boxes and get a little bit more health. Or just get some more of my Basara gauge back. That's fine. It's a fine game. I don't care. So the banter between Keiji and Ieyasu is not extremely interesting. It's interesting enough in the movie, but Keiji does oppose Ieyasu, but not very passionately. Like, of course, they both want there to be peace. But Ieyasu is not afraid to achieve peace through conflict. He's not afraid to fight. He does believe that it will be our bonds of friendship that eventually unite us, but he believes in that so passionately that he's willing to fight anyone that opposes that ideal. And that is, again, Ieyasu's inherent flaw, is that he is fundamentally an idealist, and all ideals are flawed in some way. And Keiji, in that respect, is also no different, because Keiji's outlook on life is somewhat naive, and he realizes, well, maybe he doesn't realize, but most people around him realize that that's such a far-off dream that may never actually come true. So their banter is interesting, but not especially. And I don't even remember what kind of screen time Keiji has in Judge End, so I may need to watch that again and find out. Judge End has been repressed from my memory as much as possible, although I will have to talk about it again eventually when I finally get around to doing that Basara retrospective series, because Judge End is the penultimate discussion of the entire series. Like, we had such a great franchise, and it ended with this. So, yeah. Kenshin looking fabulous as usual. His katana is looking especially nice as well, as he showed off his sword skills. So, Uesugi Kenshin, as we've said before, has I'm going to skip the rest of the encampments and just go ahead and take him out. Now, again, had I not fought Keiji at the beginning and gone for that other camp, I would have been able to access this sequence anyway, which would have been for the better, because I only would have had to fight Keiji one time in that situation.
The rightful owner of those eyes has taken ill, and now they adorn another. It begs many questions. Tell me how you've come to have such eyes.
Lord Shingen taught me many things. The value of discipline and of strategy. Even the value of defeat. He is my mentor, now and always. I am ever in his debt. If my eyes resemble the tiger's, it's because they shine with his wisdom.
Though illness has stolen Shingen's health, his spirit endures. Here on this battlefield. Now prepare! Prove yourself and let the tiger's spirit shine! It couldn't be
Alright, time to fight Kenshin, and he's pretty strong, as I've said before. Now, like I said, this has got to come as a shock to Kenshin because, again, Ieyasu was always the guy that admired Takeda Shingen and was always beneath him and always trying to reach that level. And so for Ieyasu to be standing before Kenshin in Takeda Shingen's absence is really sort of a blow to Kenshin almost. It's that realization. It's like he may never have that climactic battle with his rival, and while his eyes have been averted, suddenly there's someone on the playing field who is even stronger than the both of them. So it's really kind of a big moment for Kenshin. Of course, we have to defeat him for him to fully realize this. If I can find him, there he is. So he only has 3 stars now, so things are a little bit more manageable. But we don't have as many enemies running around trying to kill us. So our ally is almost defeated too, so we may have to revive him coming up pretty soon here. But I use my Fury Drive gauge, and I still have my Basara gauge coming up here. So we may have to back up really quick here and wait for Kenshin to use his Basara attack. But I'm not especially worried about it. We have pretty good health. Oh, here he goes. Here he goes. Spoke too soon. Okay, we're out of reach. He doesn't have any kind of reach with his Basara attack. He just kind of uses it up close, which is not terribly threatening. Oh yeah, we gotta revive our ally. Yeah, the only thing about Kenshin is he is a real genitals. He is a dick. He is incredibly fast and agile, and he has this like cliche samurai attack almost, where he just like cleaves through you and resheathes his sword, and you take the damage after the fact. But for cool frenetic flair and also a little bit of themed visuals as well, he freezes you in ice when he does this, because obviously Kenshin is ice elemental, and said so before. So, yeah, that's kind of how that works, but it's really aggravating. The auto lock on with the bosses is being pretty generous there, where you saw me trying to punch those other guys and the camera stayed focused on Kenshin, which was nice. So, Kenshin and Takeda Shingen, their rivalry is one of the most prolific and well depicted in fiction and adaptations of the Sengoku era. And Uesugi Kenshin has donned many different appearances throughout fiction, of course. This is one of my... I'm not sure I like Kenshin's design in Basara in terms of aesthetic, but I think it fits his character pretty well. Yeah, that's a pretty tough fight, I won't lie. Kenshin can be difficult. But I much prefer this stage for Kenshin over his predecessors in the previous games.
So many adventures.